Welcome back. Today, we explore the value of these most valuable Abraham Lincoln pennies that are sold out for huge money at auction. So let's get started. First up, the 1962 Lincoln cent is part of the famous Lincoln series that began in 1909 to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. The design, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, featured a profile of President Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic wheat ears on the reverse, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots. The 1962 penny falls within a period where the US Mint was producing millions of pennies annually. Despite the large mintage numbers, there are still examples of these pennies that are prized by collectors today, especially when they come with a specific mint mark or in certain conditions. The 1962 penny with a D mint mark, minted in Denver, holds special appeal for collectors due to the city's significant role in coin production. The 1962 Lincoln penny with D mint mark saw a substantial mintage of approximately 1,552,404,000 coins. With such a high mintage, one might assume that these pennies would be relevant. However, even a coin with this high mintage can still be valuable, depending on its condition and rarity factors. A dirty coin, such as a 1962 penny in poor condition, typically would not hold significant value compared to well-preserved specimens. However, in the context of auction markets, even coins in less than ideal condition can sometimes fetch high prices. This is especially true for collectors seeking to complete sets or those focusing on acquiring coins with specific mint marks, years, or those with unique characteristics. In today's auction market, even a dirty 1962 penny with D mint mark can fetch anywhere from $37,500, depending on the specific damage or wear it has endured. The price may seem modest, but for collectors of late 20th century American coins, every piece contributes to the full historical narrative. As the years go by, even these coins, once viewed as commonplace, begin to appreciate in value, especially when compared to their originally produced price. The 1962 Lincoln cent retained the familiar design of the earlier Lincoln series. On the obverse, you'll see President Lincoln's profile facing right, with the words Liberty to the left and the year of issue 1962 to the right above Lincoln's head. The motto "In God We Trust" is inscribed. The most interesting feature of the 1962 penny, even in its dirty condition, is the D mint mark. It's subtly located to the right of the date, below the number 2. This mint mark indicates the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is an important detail for collectors. Although the 1962 penny with the D mint mark is not particularly known for errors, collectors still hunt for coins that have unique flaws or unusual characteristics. A dirty condition could come from years of circulation, but some collectors might actually value a coin that shows unique wear patterns or oxidation marks. This could include odd toning or discoloration that makes the coin stand out. Additionally, collectors of wheat pennies, those with the wheat ears on the reverse, are drawn to any variations in the coins that could be tied to particular years, mint marks, or design changes. So even a coin that might be viewed as damaged or dirty could have significant collector interest based on its rarity and condition. Next up, the 1966 penny is a standout for collectors because it was issued at a time when the United States was in the midst of a monumental shift in coinage design and production. The early 1960s marked the final years of the wheat penny design, and the introduction of the Lincoln Memorial reverse began in 1959. This transition in design reflected a deepening sense of respect for President Lincoln's legacy and was aimed at highlighting his connection to the nation's history. The 1966 penny was minted during a period when coin collecting was starting to become more of a mainstream hobby, leading to an increased interest in the preservation and collection of these coins. The 1966 Lincoln penny, minted without a mint mark, saw a total production of approximately 1.4 billion coins. The absence of a mint mark means this coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which historically has been one of the largest coin production facilities in the United States. While the 1966 Lincoln penny was minted in large quantities, Collectors have always been interested in acquiring these coins, particularly in circulated condition, because these pennies are generally more accessible than rarer coins from earlier years. Their market value in circulated condition is relatively modest. However, it's important to note that certain factors such as the coin's unique large date style can influence its market price. In today's market, a 1966 Lincoln penny in circulated condition can command anywhere from $50,000 in auction houses or online marketplaces, with the price rising for coins in better-than-average condition or those with additional characteristics. While not necessarily rare, this penny's consistent popularity among collectors contributes to its steady, moderate value. Like the rest of the Lincoln pennies produced during this era, the 1966 cent features the same basic design, Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The most prominent feature is the large date that appears on the coin. This variation in the design was part of a subtle shift in coin production during the mid-1960s. The reverse design, showing the Lincoln Memorial, was created by Frank Gasparro and became an iconic symbol of the nation's respect for President Lincoln. The design features the memorial building with a detailed depiction of the steps leading up to the columns, and the words E Pluribus Unum and United States of America are inscribed above and below the memorial, respectively. The lack of a mint mark further classifies this coin as one from the Philadelphia Mint, an important aspect for collectors looking to complete their collections with specific mint marks or issues. Collectors of the 1966 Lincoln penny are often interested in identifying coins with unique characteristics or imperfections. Some errors, such as double die strikes or unusual toning, can increase the coin's value. However, because the 1966 penny is often considered a more common find, it typically does not command as high a price unless there is an identifiable error or a pristine example is discovered. Despite this, the 1966 large date penny still maintains a special place in the hearts of collectors due to its position in the history of the Lincoln cent series. The fact that it marks the transition away from the wheat design makes it a notable example for those looking to collect specific years in the series. Next up, the 1970 Lincoln cent is a coin of great interest to collectors, especially when it comes with the large date variety and a D mint mark. While it may not be immediately clear why this coin stands out, there's a fascinating backstory and reasons behind its market value. The Lincoln cent, originally designed by Victor David Brenner, has been a mainstay in American coinage since its introduction in 1909. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, has been immortalized on this coin for over. The 1970 cent marks a period in U.S. history that saw massive changes. Post-WEV America was dealing with inflation and a rising cost of living, which had an impact on the country's coinage. The U.S. Mint started producing coins at a higher volume to meet the growing demand. However, what made 1970 unique was the transition between two different types of date styles on the Lincoln cent, the small date and large date varieties. The 1970 Lincoln cent design remained consistent with previous years, showcasing Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, designed by Brenner, and the reverse featuring the traditional wheat ears. However, the distinguishing feature of the large date variety lies in the design of the date itself. The 7 and 0 in the year were significantly larger than those of the small date variety, leading to a noticeable visual difference. This change sparked confusion, with collectors initially unsure of how to classify the coins. The presence of the D mint mark indicates that this coin was minted in Denver, adding another layer of specificity to its history. The 1970 Lincoln cent with the large date and D mint mark is far rarer than the small date counterpart, making it a significant find in any collection. While the mintage numbers are high for these coins, it's the condition that drives their market value. A coin in dirty condition can still hold substantial value, but its price will generally be lower compared to those in better condition. Despite being in a dirty condition, this particular coin remains valuable because of its rarity and demand among collectors. In today's market, these coins can fetch around $10,000 in lower grades, but can climb significantly in value when they are in better, more preserved conditions. One of the most exciting aspects of this coin is that collectors are constantly on the lookout for any potential errors. Although the 1970 Lincoln cent doesn't have any major striking errors, minor variations in the font, such as the date's positioning or the alignment of the mint mark, can make a coin particularly valuable. Collectors of the Lincoln cent series are especially interested in these small differences, and errors like double dies can make this coin even more valuable, reaching prices upwards of $68,000 or more depending on the severity of. As a result, even in dirty condition, the 1970 Lincoln cent with a D mint mark is still highly desirable. Many collectors enjoy hunting for these coins because of their unique characteristics and the mystery surrounding the coin's production process. Next up, the 2009 Abraham Lincoln Formative Years penny is part of the 4-coin series issued to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This specific coin, featuring an image of Lincoln's childhood home in Indiana, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. However, what makes this coin even more intriguing is its dirty condition and its lack of a mint mark. Let's dive deeper into this coin's history, design, and the market value it holds today. In 2009, the US Mint released a series of 4 different designs to honor Abraham Lincoln, who was born in a log cabin in Indiana. This series, known as the Lincoln Bicentennial Series, commemorated the 200th anniversary of his birth, and each coin highlighted a different period of his life. The Indiana coin depicted the log cabin where Lincoln spent his early childhood, and it was an important part of the series for both its historical significance and the connection to the president's humble beginnings. At the time, the country was still recovering from the 2008 financial crisis, and the US Mint was working under high pressure to produce enough coins for the market. As a result, certain variations began to emerge, particularly when it came to mint marks. Some coins were released without any mint mark, leading to confusion about their origin and an increased interest from collectors. The obverse of the 2009 Lincoln cent in the Indiana design features a classic portrait of Lincoln, but the reverse shows his childhood home in a log cabin surrounded by nature. This design is deeply symbolic of Lincoln's humble beginnings and his rise to become one of the most revered figures in American history. The absence of a mint mark on this coin makes it especially intriguing. In 2009, the mint mark was typically placed on the obverse, but certain coins, especially those minted in Philadelphia, did not have one. This makes the mint markless 2009 Indiana penny a rare and collectible variety. Even though this particular coin is in dirty condition, it still holds value because of its unique characteristics. Like many coins from this period, the 2009 Lincoln cent series was minted in large numbers, making them relatively easy to find in circulation. However, coins without a mint mark are harder to come by, and collectors are especially interested. Coins in dirty condition tend to be less valuable than their pristine counterparts, but unminted mark varieties still hold strong appeal in the market. In today's auction market, the 2009 Indiana penny without a mint mark can command anywhere from $93,000 depending on its overall condition. While the dirty condition doesn't drastically decrease the coin's value, collectors who specialize in the Lincoln Bicentennial series or those looking for rare mint mark errors will still find this coin appealing. Though there are no major errors reported with the 2009 Indiana penny, minor discrepancies like poor strikes or off-center designs can increase the coin's value. In particular, the absence of the mint mark on certain coins minted in Philadelphia makes this coin even more valuable to collectors. Those in dirty condition still generate collector interest due to their rarity and connection to Lincoln's legacy. Next up, the 1980 Lincoln cent marks an important point in US coinage history. By this time, the US Mint had already been producing pennies for nearly 100 years with the iconic Abraham Lincoln design, which was first introduced in 1909. The cent had gone through numerous changes, but by 1980 it had settled into the design that we know today, a legacy of both President Lincoln's image and the spirit of early 20th century American coinage. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, there was a growing trend of inflation and rising commodity prices. As a result, the US Mint was under pressure to produce more coins efficiently. Despite this, the 1980 penny stands as a strong example of how a simple coin, like the Lincoln cent, can carry both historical and collectible value far beyond its intended use. The 1980 cent saw relatively high production levels, but there's still significant interest in the variations of mint marks, such as the D mint mark for coins produced in Denver. The mintage for the 1980 Lincoln cent was substantial, with more than 7 billion coins produced that year between the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. While the Philadelphia version was produced without a mint mark, the Denver coin bore the D mint mark, indicating it was struck at the Denver mint. The massive production numbers mean that most of these coins are still circulating, and finding one in fine condition or better is increasingly rare. In terms of market value, the 1980 Lincoln cent with the D mint mark in fine condition holds a special place in the auction market. While it's not among the rarest US coins, its value can fluctuate based on demand. In fine condition, which means the coin exhibits moderate wear, but is still clearly identifiable with Lincoln's image, it can fetch anywhere from $44,000. However, pristine specimens in higher grades like Miss 67 or higher can command up to $78,000 at auction, depending on the specific auction house and market conditions at the time. The 1980 Lincoln cent follows the standard design introduced by Victor David Brenner in 1909, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse with his iconic profile facing right. The reverse showcases the traditional Lincoln memorial, which was introduced in 1959. The 1980 coin does not include any notable design changes, but it did have a slight adjustment in terms of the size and clarity of the mint mark due to improved minting technology. Error coins also add to the intrigue of the 1980 Lincoln cent. Common errors include double strikes, off-center strikes, and die cracks, which can significantly increase the coin's value. An error coin, like a double die obverse, which happens when the die is improperly aligned, could bring in hundreds of dollars if discovered. There is a growing demand for error coins from the 1980s, particularly those with rare mint marks or manufacturing flaws. Coins like the 1980 Lincoln cent are especially attractive to collectors because they are relatively affordable, widely available in circulation, but also have the potential to feature a mistake that could elevate their value. Collectors look for high-grade examples, especially those in uncirculated MS or proof condition. These coins are particularly valued for their eye appeal and can be a great addition to any collection. For anyone interested in assembling a set of Lincoln cents, the 1980s coins serve as key pieces that showcase the history and development of US coinage. Next up, the 1976 Lincoln cent falls in the middle of a pivotal decade for American coinage. In 1976, the United States was celebrating the bicentennial, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. While the bicentennial quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins were receiving much of the attention, the 1976 Lincoln cent maintained its role as a staple in American currency. The coin features the same Abraham Lincoln design that had been in place since 1909. However, the 1976 cent is part of a series of coins that were minted during a time of economic uncertainty. The mint was under pressure to produce vast amounts of coins to combat inflation and rising costs. A 1976 Lincoln cent without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike the D mint mark coins, these coins can often be found in dirty, well-worn condition due to the high number of coins in circulation. Although most of these coins are not highly valuable due to their worn state, there is a certain appeal in owning a black, dirty example, particularly if the dirt or discoloration is uniform and does not obscure the features of the coin too much. The mintage of the 1976 Lincoln cent was enormous, with over 4 billion coins produced across the three mints. This large mintage makes it relatively easy to find a 1976 Lincoln cent, but finding one in good or fine condition is more difficult, especially those without a mint mark. In dirty or black condition, this coin holds minimal intrinsic value as it is highly circulated, but it can still have collector interest depending on the market. Coins in dirty condition typically don't command much in auctions, but some collectors are particularly interested in coins with unique patinas or coloring, which could be considered artifacts of a bygone era. The 1976 Lincoln cent without a mint mark and in black, dirty condition can usually be found in the $8,000 range for common examples. However, coins that show a unique toning pattern may be sought after by collectors who specialize in toned coins and could fetch anywhere from $20,000. As with most Lincoln cents, the 1976 Lincoln cent features the classic Abraham Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Since no significant changes were made in the design of the penny in 1976, it follows the familiar structure introduced in earlier years. In terms of errors, a 1976 Lincoln cent could include off-center strikes, die cracks, or other mistakes, but they are rarer in this series. Still, collectors will often pay a premium for a double die obverse, which is an error that occurs when the die that strikes the coin has been misaligned. The 1976 Lincoln cent is not particularly valuable in its standard condition. However, it holds a special place for collectors interested in toned coins, era coins, or coins from significant years in American history. The bicentennial year adds a layer of historical significance that can elevate interest in certain examples, particularly those that have unique visual features. For many collectors, the appeal of the 1976 Lincoln cent is not just about its value in monetary terms, but its connection to the broader story of the United States during the bicentennial celebrations. Dirty or blackened coins can often evoke a sense of nostalgia for those looking to collect relics from that particular time. Next up, we have the 1981 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent, which features a large date and a distinctive D mint mark. But there's more to this coin than just its year and mint mark. It stands out due to its unique appearance, specifically its blackened, dirty condition. While this might sound less than ideal for some, for certain collectors, the dirty and aged look of a coin like this can add to its appeal, as it might suggest a coin that has withstood the test of time and environmental conditions. The 1981 Lincoln penny is part of the ongoing series of 1 cent coins that have featured Abraham Lincoln since 1909. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and Lincoln's portrait has remained the most enduring symbol of American currency. However, the 1981 coin, which is minted with the D mint mark, represents a time when the US economy was facing inflationary pressures. The late 1970s and early 1980s were marked by economic turbulence, with high interest rates and a growing national debt, which had a significant impact on coin production and circulation. Produced in Denver, the 1981 Lincoln cent with the D mint mark was part of a massive mintage. In fact, over 7.2 billion pennies were produced that year, making it relatively easy to find in circulation. However, what makes certain examples valuable is their condition and unique characteristics. Like this blackened, dirty coin, it's important to note that dirt or discoloration on a coin like this may not be the result of the usual wear and tear seen with normal circulation. Instead, it could be due to exposure to specific environmental factors, which is what makes it an interesting anomaly for collectors. Coins in less than perfect condition generally aren't worth much more than face value, but this particular 1981 Lincoln penny has been able to maintain significant collector interest due to its dirty, blackened appearance. While these coins typically sell for anywhere from $83,000 depending on their specific condition and appeal, a heavily worn or unique example like this, one can sometimes fetch up to $92,000 or even more if it's particularly rare or sought after. Condition plays a key role, but if there's a specific error or unusual feature, the value can climb significantly. Like all Lincoln pennies, the 1981 version features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor Brenner. On the reverse, you'll find the traditional 1 cent inscription surrounded by a simple wheat ear design. This design is commonly known as the wheat penny design, but with the 1981 coin, this design was replaced in later years by the Lincoln Memorial, though the iconic figure of Lincoln remained central. The large date format is another characteristic feature of this coin. Although the 1981 Lincoln penny is not widely known for any major errors, it can still attract interest from collectors because of the age of the coin and its potential for minting anomalies. For example, some pennies from this era have been found with double dies or other slight imperfections that can add value. The blackened or dirty appearance of this coin is not an error per se, but for some, it might suggest a coin that has been preserved under unique circumstances, making it a bit of a mystery. Collectors of modern coins, in particular, are drawn to such unusual variants as they offer a fresh perspective on a well-known design. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or someone new to the hobby, the 1981 Lincoln penny with the D mint mark is a fascinating coin. Its blackened, dirty condition makes it stand out from the rest, adding an extra layer of appeal to collectors who appreciate unique pieces. If you come across one of these coins in your collection, don't forget to check it closely. It could have a higher value than you'd expect. Next up, we have the 1973 Lincoln 1-cent coin, which is notable for its fine condition and lack of a mint mark. Coins from 1973 are fairly common, but this particular example, which has no mint mark and is in excellent condition, is a star. In this section, we'll break down why this particular coin is valued in today's market and what makes it so special. The 1973 Lincoln penny was minted at a time of great economic change in the United States. The country had just gone through the turbulent 1960s and early 1970s, marked by inflation and the end of the post-World War. By 1973, the US was facing challenges related to rising oil prices, a soaring national debt, and the aftermath of the Vietnam War. As the US mint produced billions of pennies to meet demand, the 1973 Lincoln cent was among them, but coins in fine condition, like the one we are discussing today, are much less common. Produced in Philadelphia in 1973, the 1973 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is a rare find. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint during this period were typically produced in large quantities to accommodate daily. The 1973 mintage itself was over 4 billion coins. However, unlike coins with mint marks from Denver or San Francisco, those minted in Philadelphia only display the date and the portrait of Lincoln, making them slightly more valuable to collectors looking for a no-mint mark variant. It's these small differences that drive up their value. At first glance, a 1973 Lincoln penny in fine condition might seem like just another penny in the box, but for collectors, it's much more than that. A coin in fine condition can range in value from $10,000 depending on its specific condition, any errors it may have, and overall demand in the market. However, some particularly well-preserved examples, or those with unique characteristics, may fetch higher values, sometimes up to $25,000 or more at. Just like other Lincoln pennies, the 1973 version features Abraham Lincoln's iconic portrait on the obverse. The reverse features a simple, elegant design with the words 1 cent surrounded by 2 wheat stalks, symbolizing the agricultural roots of the United States. While the coin is relatively simple in its design, the fine condition and the lack of a mint mark add to its intrigue. And although there are no major minting errors associated with the 1973 Lincoln penny, it is still a coin that has caught the interest of collectors due to its age and the fact that many examples in circulation today are worn and damaged. Any coin in fine condition, especially one without a mint mark, is considered valuable because it represents an example of a well-preserved piece of history. If you have a 1973 penny without a mint mark in your collection, you could be holding onto a rare find. To sum up, the 1973 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is a great example of how a seemingly common coin can have significant value depending on its condition and rarity. If you happen to come across one of these coins, make sure to take a closer look. It could be worth more than its face value. Next up, the 1982 Lincoln cent, particularly the large date variety without a mint mark, is a fascinating coin within US numismatics. When the US Mint produced the Lincoln cent in 1982, the year marked the 100th anniversary of the birth of President Abraham Lincoln. The coin was originally minted in a bronze alloy but transitioned to a copper-plated zinc composition during the year. As a result, The 1982 series has a diverse range of compositions, and collectors have been particularly interested in distinguishing between the different versions produced. The Lincoln cent is one of the most collected coins in the US and has undergone various design changes since its introduction in 1909. The 1982 Lincoln cent, however, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors because it was produced during a pivotal time in US coinage history, with the transition from bronze to copper-plated zinc marking the start of a new era for the coin. The 1982 coin is also notable for its two different date sizes, the small date and large date varieties. The large date variety is particularly valuable among collectors. The coins that feature this variety without a mint mark, especially those in circulated conditions, are highly sought after. The mint mark, which is typically found on coins produced at the Denver or San Francisco mints, is notably absent from the 1982 Lincoln cent without a mint mark, making it a mystery for collectors to uncover. While the mintage numbers for the 1982 Lincoln cent were very high due to its production in large quantities to accommodate the growing US population, the large date variety with no mint mark is one of the rarest and most valuable. The US Mint produced billions of coins that year, but the specific minting process and the error of not marking the coin with a mint mark add an element of intrigue for collectors. In circulated condition, the value of this coin can range widely depending on factors like wear, coloration, and whether it's part of a set with other varieties. Coins in fine or very fine condition may fetch higher prices at auction, often between $30,000, while those in lower circulated grades might be worth thousands of dollars more due to their unique nature. When the coin is graded at higher levels, such as Ms 64 or Ms 65, prices can increase dramatically. In these higher grades, auction prices can exceed $100, sometimes reaching up to $200 or more. The key to determining the true market value of the 1982 Lincoln cent lies in its condition and its rarity within the large date, unmarked category. The design of the 1982 Lincoln cent is typical of the Lincoln cent series, with the obverse featuring a bust of President Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse showcasing the iconic memorial design by Frank Gasparo. The design of the coin was unchanged for decades, but the 1982 transition also marked a change in the composition, as mentioned. However, the 1982 large date variety holds interest not just for its historical context, but because of the error in minting that was made in the production of the coins. That the mint mark is often missing from this specific variety, and when this happens, it leads collectors to look for examples that might show subtle signs of error in the die or other unique features like doubling, misstrikes, or other anomalies. Collectors are especially keen on acquiring the 1982 Lincoln cent with the large date and without the mint mark because of the coin's intriguing history and relatively high rarity compared to other common date varieties. The combination of historical importance, potential for high-quality specimens, and a known market demand ensures that this coin will likely continue to appreciate over time. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave your comments below. And as always, keep hunting for those rare treasures.